Hey, it's Niamh, and in this week's video of the week, I'm going to give you an update on my working less this summer plan. Now, at the start of the summer, excuse me, I announced that I was going to experiment with working less while keeping my business running, while supporting my clients and customers, and while actually having a launch in the middle of the summer. And this was sort of extreme for me because I definitely can work a lot when I want to. But at the start of the summer, what I was finding was, winding down from all of the bringing the kids to school and all the kids' school stuff, and then winding down from running one of my Unite video challenges while at the same time overhauling my Light It Up video marketing membership area and making that amazing and so much better than what it used to be. I was pretty tired. There was a lot going on and I felt like, this is a bit too much. I was sort of waking up feeling tired every day. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna wind down during the summer and while still keeping the business going. What does that look like? So here's how it went. My initial plan was I am going to have very strict limits on myself. So I installed Toggle, which is a time tracker on my computer and on my phone. And I started to track my time and I limited myself. And at the start, I was like, I'm gonna see if I could limit myself to an hour a day or a couple of hours a day and see how much I can cut down my work time, okay? So that was pretty intense. I discovered pretty quickly that I couldn't do the launch at that amount of time. But what happened was I became a lot more conscious of where my time was going, and a lot of the fluffy time got cut out because there was a lot of time where I was just sort of puttering around, clicking on things, looking at things, feeling like I was working, but not actually accomplishing anything. So by starting to track my time, I found that straight away I was able to reduce it. I was able to make clearer choices, especially when I had limits. When I was like, okay, I can only work for an hour and a half today, then I had to be much more conscious. So I would do things like, instead of logging into check Facebook for questions 5 times a day, I would log in twice a day. And I could just go straight to where the questions were, get them answered. I found that, I already have newsfeed eradicator on Facebook, which stops my newsfeed from showing. So I would go straight into my notifications, just deal with them, boom, 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 and be done. What surprised me was actually how much time was going to things like Facebook. I felt like my business, I was always being productive, but I was really shocked to see the amount of time that goes into stuff like that. Also, what I was surprised about was when I was really focused on one thing at a time, how well I could do, how productive I could be with that time. And what was super nice was beginning to clear out the guilt. So when I wasn't working, I was like, hey, I'm not supposed to be working. And that felt really great. Now, I won't lie, that took a lot of adjusting. At first, I did feel enormously guilty. I felt really strange. I felt a lot of anxiety because I wasn't doing the normal things that I was doing, and I felt like, my business isn't my business if I'm not logging into Facebook 20 times a day. But I discovered really quickly that all that stuff that I was doing, most of it was only affecting me, and it was only for me, and it wasn't actually for the people I was there to serve. So it was very interesting, really. The other thing was I found that I had to put in a lot more time into planning. So I had to actually dedicate an hour a week to planning so that I could juggle the various things. I could juggle getting out videos to my public audience, creating any videos that I had to create for my members in my membership area, and making sure that, say if I was going to do a video recording day on a Tuesday, that I had everything planned on Monday so I could sit down and just record and go on the Tuesday. Now, it did take several weeks for me to get the flow of it, and it took several weeks for me to sort of calm down, and that was really surprising to me. I just thought, oh, I'm just gonna love this, I'm gonna be working so much less, it's gonna be amazing, but it took me a while to feel like that was okay. And I had to sort of be aware when I had this like strange anxiety, I had to go, okay, my body is not used to not working. So it's responding differently. And so that I found really interesting, the sort of mental thing to get over. But once I did get over that, I found it better. And so now what I'm doing, I'm, halfway through our summer break now, and I'm finding that now I've stopped tracking the time. Because I don't feel like I need to anymore. Now I feel like I've been able to use that as a tool to lessen the time spent, and now I can just get done what needs to get done. I can log into Facebook once or twice a day, get my questions answered. I can spend the time that I want to spend on the things that I want to get done, and it's not going overboard. I've definitely snuck up beyond the original time I thought I would spend, but it is amazing that when I'm working, I'm working. When I'm not working, I'm not working. And actually it has shrunk down to very limited amount of time per day. And I'm also doing it somewhat by feel now. So today I felt like recording a bunch of videos. So I'm recording a bunch of videos. That's going to take the time it's going to take, but I feel like doing it. I don't feel like I have to. And then I know then tomorrow I might do very little work entirely. So I'm able to go a little bit more by feel, but I had to have that period of time where I was tracking, where I was being very strict with myself to get myself out of the habit of working really hard. So somebody asked me for an update recently. So that is the update of how my summer work less plan is going. I'm hoping that I can continue this sort of attitude towards work as I come into the fall, and as we come into the next Ignite Video Challenge, which is going to be in September. Obviously at that point I'm going to have to work a little bit more than I'm working now, but I like this idea of creating little boxes. So my work lives inside a box, and then outside of the box I'm free to do other things. And I am finding that I'm feeling a lot more free, and I'm beginning to get a lot more energy back. So I'm really enjoying it. So I will hopefully update you again at the end of the summer. I hope you're having a lovely time, whether you're in summer or winter, whatever part of the world you're in. Always remember that you can create the kind of business that you want to create, and you are in charge of putting your own little boxes around it to make sure that it doesn't take over your whole life. So enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.